Hi guys, welcome in everybody. Drop your names in the comments. We are doing name writing on the sand. Let's begin the live stream, guys. Everybody, welcome in. Drop your names, guys, in the comments. Who do we have next, guys? Everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much for liking. Everybody drop your names in the comments. Let's get started, guys. Hi, Wyatt. How are you doing today, Wyatt? Let's go for Wyatt in the chat. All right. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, Wyatt. Here you go. All right. Who's next, guys? Everybody welcome in. Drop your names in the comments, guys. We are doing name writing on the sand, guys. All right, next subscriber, Jocelyn. How are you doing, Jocelyn? I hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Jocelyn. All right, who's next, guys? Everybody, welcome in. Welcome to my live. We are doing name writing on the sand. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Kelsey. How are you, Kelsey? Hope you're having a great day today. Here you go, Kelsey. All right, who do we have next, guys? Next subscriber name in the chat is Ritu. How are you doing today, Ritu? Let's do your name here. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking to me, Ritu. Here you go. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Brian. How are you doing today, Brian? Let's go for your name here. Here you go, Brian. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Guile. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Guile. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lily. How are you doing today, Lily? Thank you so much for liking my stream. Hey, go, Lily. Next subscriber name in the chat is, I see SJ in the chat. How are you doing, SJ? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, SJ. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Matthias. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Matthias. All right, hey, go, Matthias. All right, who do we have next, guys? Everybody, welcome in. Drop your names, guys, in the comments. Who is next, guys? I see in the chat is Sis, thank you so much, Sis. Next subscriber in the chat is Jai. How are you doing today, Jai? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Jai. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Malik. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Malik. Have a nice day. Here you go, Malik. All right, next subscriber name in the chat, guys. Who is it? I see is Eric in the chat. How are you, Eric? I hope you're having a great day today, Eric. Here you go, Eric. Next subscriber name in the chat is Mason. How are you doing, Mason? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Mason. Here you go, Mason. Next subscriber name in the chat is Paxton. Thank you so much for liking, Paxton. Here you go. All right, who do we have next after Paxton? Next subscriber name, guys, in the chat is Aisha. How are you doing, Aisha? Hope you're having a great day. Are you? Hey, go, Aisha. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Jordan. How are you doing today, Jordan? Hope you're having a great day today, Jordan. Hey, go, Jordan. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, I see is Anja. How are you doing, Anja? I hope you're having a great day, Anja. Here you go, Anja. Next subscriber name, guys, in the chat is Bailey. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Bailey. Here you go, Bailey. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, who is that? I see is Dalen. How are you, Dalen? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Dalen. Here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is, I see is July. How are you? Is that Julie? Sorry for that. All right, Julie. Okay. Next subscriber name is Julie. All right, here you go, Julie. Next subscriber name in the chat is Next subscriber name in the chat is, I see is Tarek. How are you, Tarek? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Tarek. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Deva. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Deva. Have a nice day, Deva. Here you go. Next subscriber in the chat is Elliot. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Elliot. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Zayden. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Zayden. Here you go, Zayden. Next subscriber name in the chat is Anav. Here you go, Anav. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Anav. Let's go for your name here. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lee K. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Lee K. Have a nice day, Lee K. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Zayden. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Have a nice day. Here goes Zayden. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lissy. How are you doing, Lissy? Have a nice day. Here you go, Lissy. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, who is that? I see is Savannah in the chat. How are you, Savannah? Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Kaida. How are you, Kaida? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Kaida. Here you go. Next subscriber name, guys, in the chat is, who is that? Everybody drop your names, guys. When you say me, I can't understand what's the name. Next subscriber name is Emma in the chat. How are you, Emma? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Next subscriber name in the chat is Sarah. How are you, Sarah? Here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is Marbella. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Marbella. Have a nice day. Here you go, Marbella. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, just give me a second, guys. Chase in the chat. Thank you, Chase, for liking and subscribing. Here you go, Chase. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name, guys, in the chat I see is Bryson. How are you? Thank you so much for liking. Here you go, Bryson. Next subscriber name in the chat, guys, I see is Lucas. How are you, Lucas? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Lucas. Here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is Rod. How are you doing today, Rod? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Rod. Next subscriber in the chat is, I see is Joss. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Joss. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Sean. How are you doing, Sean? I hope you're having a great day. Are you? Here you go, Sean. Next subscriber name in the chat is Jenna. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Jenna. Have a nice day, Jenna. Next subscriber in the chat is Zion. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Zion. Have a nice day, Zion. Next subscriber in the chat is Macy. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Macy. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Angel. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Angel. Next subscriber is Zimena. Thank you so much for the star. All right, Zimena, here you go. Have a nice day, Zimena. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Joshua. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Joshua. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, thank you so much, Ava, for that gift. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ava. Have a nice day, Ava. Next subscriber name in the chat is Kyle. How are you doing today, Kyle? Have a nice day. Here you go, Kyle. Next subscriber in the chat is Kaden, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Have a nice day, Kaden. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Sonu. How are you doing, Sonu? Thank you so much for liking. Next subscriber name in the chat is Maria. How are you doing today, Maria? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Maria. Thank you, Ava, for another gift. Thank you. Have a nice day, Ava. Bless you. Here you go, Ava. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Gaming. Who is that? Gaming. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's do gaming here. Thank you so much. Bless you, Gaming. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is... Who is that? Alex. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Alex. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Toby. How are you doing, Toby? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for liking. Next subscriber in the chat is Blessy. How are you doing, Blessy? Hey, go. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Alan. All right, Alan, let's go for your name. How are you doing? Here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is Chloe. All right, Chloe, thank you so much for liking. Here you go, Chloe. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Elvis. How are you doing, Elvis? Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Grace. How are you, Grace? Thank you for liking. Here you go, Grace. Next subscriber name in the chat is Rexan. Thank you so much for liking, Rexan. Have a nice day, Rexan. Next subscriber name in the chat is Larry. How are you doing, Larry? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Larry. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Zoe. Thank you so much for liking, Zoe. Have a nice day, Zoe. Next subscriber, guys, in the chat is Lani. How are you doing today, Lani? Hey, you go. Thank you so much for liking. Next subscriber in the chat is Joshua. I hope you're having a great day today, Joshua. Are you? Hey, go. Next subscriber in the chat is June. Thank you so much for liking, June. Have a nice day, June. Next subscriber in the chat is Kiana. How are you doing, Kiana? Hope you're having a great day today, Kiana. Here you go, Kiana. Next subscriber, guys, in the chat is Sohan. How are you doing today, Sohan? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Sohan. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lara. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Lara. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Lexi. How are you doing, Lexi? I hope you're having a great day, Lexi. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Ryder. How are you doing, Ryder? I hope you're having a great day today. Here you go, Ryder. Next subscriber in the chat is Arnisa. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Arnisa. Here you go, Arnisa. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Faith. How are you doing today, Faith? Hope you're having a great day, Faith. Thank you so much, Faith. All right, next subscriber in the chat is Kader. Thank you so much for liking, Kader. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Murph. How are you doing, Murph? Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Have a great day. Next subscriber in the chat is Camilla. Thank you so much, Camilla, for liking. How are you doing, Camilla? All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Ben. How are you, Ben? Thank you so much for liking my stream. All right, here you go, Ben. Next subscriber in the chat is Dottie. How are you doing today, Dottie? Hey, have a nice day. All right, next subscriber in the chat is Iman. Thank you so much for liking, Iman. Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Iman. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Morgan. How are you doing, Morgan? I hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Morgan. Next subscriber in the chat is Philip. How are you doing, Philip? Hope you're having a great day. Are you? Here you go, Philip. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, I see is Janelli. How are you doing today, Janelli? Hope you're having a great day today, Janelli. Here you go, Janelli. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Chloe. Thank you so much, Chloe, for liking. Here you go, Chloe. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Bob. How are you doing today, Bob? Hope you're having a great day today, Bob. Here you go. Next subscriber in the chat, guys, is Aki. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Aki. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat, guys, I see is David. How are you doing, David? Have a nice day, David. Thank you for liking my stream. Next subscriber, guys, in the chat is Steven. Thank you so much for liking, Steven. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber in the chat is, I see, is Kelly. How are you doing, Kelly? Hope you're having a great day, Kelly. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Kimchi. Thank you so much for liking, Kimchi. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is, I see, is Amber. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Amber. Have a nice day, Amber. Next subscriber name in the chat is Charlotte. How are you doing, Charlotte? Hope you're having a great day. Are you? Hey, go, Charlotte. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Soyoka. How are you doing, Soyoka? Thank you so much for liking, Soyoka. Here you go, Soyoka. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Keisha. How are you doing, Keisha? Thank you so much for liking my stream, Keisha. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Joel. Thank you so much for liking, Joel. Have a nice day. Here you go, Joel. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Misha. How are you doing, Misha? Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Maggie. How are you doing, Maggie? Hope you're having a great day. Are you, Maggie? All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Minahil. How are you doing, Minahil? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Minahil. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is, I see is, who is that? Ben in the chat. Thank you so much, Ben, for liking. Have a nice day, Ben. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Alyssa. Thank you so much for liking, Alyssa. Have a nice day, Alyssa. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Jania. Thank you so much for liking, Jania. Let's go for your name here. Next subscriber name in the chat is, I see, is Ruby. Thank you so much for liking, Ruby. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for liking my stream, Ruby. Next subscriber name in the chat, guys, I see is Ziana. How are you doing, Ziana? Hope you're having a great day today, Ziana. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Corina. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Corina. Here you go. Have a nice day, Corina. Next subscriber name in the chat is Andrea. How are you doing, Andrea? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Andrea. Next subscriber name in the chat is Martin. How are you doing, Martin? Hope you're having a great day, Martin. Here you go, Martin. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Harmony. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Harmony. Have a nice day, Harmony. Next subscriber name, guys, in the chat is, all right, that is Luke in the chat. Thank you so much, Luke, for liking and subscribing to me. There you go, Luke. Have a nice day. Next subscriber, guys, in the chat is Gianna. Thank you so much for liking, Gianna. Have a nice day. Here you go, Gianna. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is William. How are you doing, William? Hope you're having a great day today. Here you go, William. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Trey. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Trey. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Jasmine. How are you doing today, Jasmine? I hope you're having a great day. Hey, go, Jasmine. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Iriana. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Iriana. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Xylee. Thank you so much for liking my stream, Xylee. Have a nice day. Here you go, Xylee. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Sky. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Sky. Here you go, Sky. Have a nice day. Next subscriber in the chat is Cherry. How are you doing today, Cherry? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Cherry. Next subscriber in the chat is Ruby. How are you doing, Ruby? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for liking, Ruby. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lily. Thank you so much for liking, Lily. Have a nice day. Thank you so much for that gift. Who is that? Thank you so much for the sunshine. That is Hatsune. All right, let's give you a crown name here. Thank you so much. It's a shout out to Hatsune, guys. All right, let's go, everybody. Hatsune, I hope you like this. Thank you so much for that beautiful gift. Here you go, Hatsune. I hope you like this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's a shout out to Hatsune. Thank you. Next subscriber name in the chat is Anna. Thank you so much for liking, Anna. Here you go, Anna. Next subscriber name in the chat is Shloa. Thank you so much for liking, Shloa. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is... Thank you so much for saying the Hatsune. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Isla. Have a nice day, Isla. Next subscriber name in the chat is Varen. How are you, Varen? Thank you so much for that gift. Star, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's write Star here. Have a nice day, Star. Thank you so much. All right, here you go. Next subscriber name in the chat is Varon. How are you doing, Varon? All right, have a nice day. Thank you for liking. Next subscriber name in the chat is Rowan. How are you doing, Rowan? Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Hames. How are you doing, Hames? Thank you so much for liking. Have a great day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is... Oh, he's your best friend. That's great. That's amazing. All right, Cherish in the chat. How are you, Cherish? Have a great day, Cherish. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Eon. Thank you, Eon. Thank you so much for liking. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Yadi. Thank you so much for liking, Yadi. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is IK. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, IK. Have a nice day. Thank you. Next subscriber name in the chat is Avery. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Avery. Here you go, Avery. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Maria, how are you doing today, Maria? Hope you're having a great day. Let's go for Maria here. Here you go, Maria. Next subscriber name in the chat is Prayag. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Here you go, Prayag. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber in the chat is bye. Take care, Hatsune. See you again. Thank you. Enjoy your school tomorrow. Next subscriber in the chat is Rifki. How are you doing, Rifki? Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Shelby. All right, Shelby, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go for Shelby. Next subscriber in the chat is Todd. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Todd. Have a great day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Raima. How are you doing today, Raima? Hope you're having a great day. Here you go, Raima. Next subscriber name in the chat is Phone. Thank you so much, Phone. Thank you so much for that gift, Phone Collector. Thank you. Let me write Phone for you here. Thank you. Thank you so much for that gift. Here you go, Phone. Thank you, thank you. All right, here you go, Phone. Next subscriber name in the chat is Ahana. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Ahana. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Paka. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a great day today. Here you go, Paka. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Lexi. How are you doing, Lexi? Thank you so much for liking, Lexi. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Ezio. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Ezio. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is Willow. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Willow. Have a nice day. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Jaden. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me, Jaden. Here you go, Jaden. Have a nice day. Next subscriber name in the chat is AWS. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Here you go. All right, next subscriber name in the chat is Adelina. How are you, Adelina? Welcome back to my live. I hope you're doing good today. Here you go, Adelina. All right, here you go. Okay, guys, I will go for a break now and I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.